This is the weekly sales meeting for July 20th, 2025. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, work or busy work? Managers should expect output. No argument there. Productivity matters. But let's get one thing straight. There is a difference between real work and busy work. One builds and the other burns out. You ask for a report, but it's information you already have. You request updates, but there's no real use for them. You pile it on because it feels like leadership. To your sellers, it feels like noise. And when your team starts wondering why they are even doing this, you have lost more than time. You have lost trust. This is not laziness, this is logic. People do not mind hard work, they mind pointless work. Work that matters gives people a reason to care. It fuels purpose. It tells them they count. And when people know they count, they show up differently. They lean in. They do more. Not because they have to, but because they want to. McKinsey says 70% of people tie their purpose to their work. That means when the work feels real, so does the effort. But when the job is junk, the effort matches. There are reports no one reads. There are endless meetings with no end game. These meetings could have been an email. And then there are tasks that could have been done in 2 clicks. Because of this, motivation tanks. It's not only the hours you lose, it's the heart, it's the spark, the belief that this all matters. Busy work doesn't feel like leadership, it feels like punishment. When someone's asked to pull data that's already in the system or build a report their manager can already see, it doesn't feel like trust. It feels like a test, and it is a pointless one. The real damage isn't the time it wastes, it's the message it sends. We don't trust you to manage your time, so we will fill it for you. That's not how you get people to care, that's how you get them to coast. Frederick Herzberg was an American psychologist. He is best known for developing the 2-factor theory of motivation. This explains what drives job satisfaction and dissatisfaction. His research showed that meaningful work, recognition, and responsibility motivate employees. The motivation is far more than money or perks alone. He said if you want someone to do a good job, give them a good job to do. Not busy work, but real work. Work that makes people feel like problem solvers, not placeholders. This decline in motivation carries real costs. Gallup reports that disengaged employees cost American companies more than $450 billion each year. One of the biggest reasons employees check out is the feeling that their work doesn't matter. That's what busy work creates. It's not only a productivity issue, but also a culture issue. One employee stuck in pointless tasks becomes a warning sign to others. Soon, a team once full of energy becomes passive and indifferent. As British management thinker Charles Handy put it, if you want people to act like adults, treat them like adults. That starts by giving them work that honors their time and talent. The best managers think before they delegate. They don't hand out tasks to fill time or look busy. They stop and ask, does this task matter? Does it make good use of the employee's skill? Is it something only they can do? Too often, leaders assign work that never should have been passed down in the first place, usually about questions they could answer on their own, or questions about data they already have, or some tasks that could be automated. That is not leadership, that is avoidance. Peter Drucker said this about that kind of work: there is nothing so useless as doing efficiently what should not have been done at all. If leaders waste people's time, they shouldn't be shocked when people stop caring. Employees want 2 things, clarity and impact. They want to know their work matters. When they see how their effort connects to something real, they lean in. Adam Grant is an organizational psychologist and best-selling author. He is known for his research on motivation, work culture, and leadership. He is a professor at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. He is also the host of the Work Life podcast. His research shows that call center reps who heard how their work helped scholarship students raised 171% more than those who didn't. That is not a fluke. That is purpose in action. When people know they're part of something bigger, they rise. But when they are handed busy work, like a task that a quick email or simple system search could solve, they check out. Unfortunately, some managers confuse oversight with leadership. They hand out tasks that add no real value and call it alignment or engagement. But it's not leadership, it's micromanagement dressed up as management. When leaders assign low-value work instead of encouraging independent thinking, they kill initiative. And it is likely the initiative they claim they want. The Harvard Business Review says employees with autonomy report 20% higher job satisfaction. They report an equal level of increased productivity. But autonomy can't survive when people spend their days checking boxes that don't matter. The more they feel micromanaged, the less they care about doing their best. Great leaders connect effort to impact. They don't tell their teams what to do, they explain why it matters. They build trust by showing respect for their people's time, knowledge, and judgment. They offer support, not pointless demands. They think before assigning tasks, and they remove friction rather than creating it. Employees in these environments thrive. They are given work that stretches their ability and drives results. They don't feel like pawns, they feel like partners. As Daniel Pink explains in his book, Drive, people are motivated by autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Busy work starves all three. To tell the difference between busy work and real work, managers should ask 3 simple questions. Does this task solve a problem or help us reach a goal? Is the information already available somewhere else? Would the employee feel proud to say they worked on this? If the answer is no, then the task shouldn't be assigned. That's not leadership, that's mismanagement. And it costs more than time, it costs trust, energy, and performance. The long-term consequences of assigning busy work are severe. Talented employees leave, creativity disappears, culture erodes, teams stop caring, innovation slows, leaders lose credibility. But the opposite is also true. When employees are trusted with real responsibility and clear expectations, they grow, they solve problems, they stay longer, they give more. They become the kind of team every manager dreams of having. In a sales organization, the difference between meaningful work and busy work can make or break the team's success. Salespeople live by targets, timelines, and territory. Every hour spent calling on prospects, writing proposals, or presenting solutions should move them closer to a sale. That's the rhythm that drives results. But when leaders interrupt that rhythm with low-value tasks, this not only wastes time, this is what kills momentum. And in sales, momentum is everything. Without it, pipelines dry up and deals stall, and good sellers start looking elsewhere. A sales environment runs on clarity, ownership, and momentum. Take those away and the engine stalls. When managers ask sellers to join meetings that add no value or dig up data already sitting in the CRM, they don't create accountability, they create drag. It might look like oversight, but it feels like mistrust. Instead of building a pipeline, sellers start building proof. Proof that they were working, proof that they were busy, but proof doesn't close deals. And while top performers burn out, underperformers disappear in the noise. Meanwhile, the numbers slip, and nobody knows why. Worse than wasting time is what busy work says out loud without ever speaking a word. It says, "We don't trust you." That message hits hard. Sellers begin to wonder, do my managers even get what it takes to close a deal? Do they understand how much focus, stamina, and strategy it takes to move a complex sale across the finish line? Once that doubt creeps in, so does detachment. Sellers stop leaning in. They start looking out. We live in a world where consultative selling requires full attention, and the thinking should be about the long game. These distractions not only slow you down, they will sink you. In sales, relationships are the engine. We are tasked with listening well, asking smart questions, following up with purpose, and tailoring solutions. This is our craft. But when we are dragged away during prime selling hours to attend to tasks that mean nothing to the buyer, that craft suffers. Time is stolen, focus is shattered, and what slips through the cracks is the very thing that makes a good seller great. This is the ability to make the buyer feel seen, heard, and understood. Busy work doesn't only eat time, it eats trust, connection, and conversion. This is where it gets dangerous. When activity becomes the scoreboard, effort gets confused with effectiveness. Leaders start praising noise instead of outcomes. The rep who clogs the system with shallow emails and polished reports looks like a star. Meanwhile, the one doing the hard, quiet work of relationship building gets overlooked. And in time, the wrong culture takes hold. The team starts chasing metrics that don't matter. They start working to look busy instead of working to win. That's not progress. That's a performance, and it costs the company real revenue. Here's the kicker. No one sees it happening until it's too late. The pipeline starts to thin. Deals stall. Cross-functional trust erodes. Marketing launches campaigns that miss the mark because they've never heard the voice of the customer. Product rollouts highlight features no one is asking for. Finance questions the numbers because sales stopped having time to explain them. All because sellers were buried in reports that went nowhere. Busy work doesn't just waste time, it breaks alignment. And in sales, alignment is everything. And yet it happens every day. Not out of malice, but out of habit. A leader feels behind, so they scramble. They assign something vague and urgent without thinking about its ripple effect. But in sales, time is leverage. Focus is fuel. Pulling a seller away from a deal for an internal fire drill doesn't just waste an hour, it steals momentum. It signals that the deal isn't the priority. And when sellers feel that disconnect, they don't push harder. They pull back. They protect their energy because someone has to. Because proof isn't in the paperwork, it's in the pipeline. It's in progress. It's in the deals that move forward and the relationships that deepen. Great sales leaders know that the best way to track performance isn't to bury their teams in activity logs. It is to clear the runway so sellers can do what they do best: sell. When a sales organization removes the noise, it unlocks the signal. And when you build your culture around meaningful effort instead of manufactured motion, it changes the outcome. Deals close faster. Teams grow stronger. The business wins. Sellers don't quit their jobs. They quit energy drains. They quit feeling unheard. They quit systems that waste their time and leaders who don't protect it. When a sales pro walks out the door, it's not usually because of quotas or pressure. It's because they spent more time justifying their existence than building their book. In high-performance teams, work is aligned with purpose. Effort is respected, and the front line is treated like the engine, not the dumping ground. That's the difference between average and elite. That's the difference between turnover and loyalty. That's the difference between busy and better. This isn't a debate about hard work versus laziness. It's a question of direction. Work should take people somewhere. Busy work keeps them circling the parking lot, wasting gas. Expect your team to work, but make sure the work is worth doing. Don't assign projects because they look good on paper or because you want to appear busy to your boss. Assign them because they make a difference, because they lead to results, because they matter. You can't build a cathedral by handing someone a pile of bricks and walking away. You have to give them the blueprint, show them the design, help them see what they are building and why it matters. Then stand back and let them build, because when work has meaning, people rise. When it doesn't, they leave. My new book, 21st Century Sales Success, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.